This is Public Access Signals from the Other Side, Part 21. We're about to begin a day phase, but before we do, some housekeeping and recapping would be in order. Housekeeping, I actually, in between sessions, I looked up the rules to the game that I wrote, and it turns out, Nathan, you cannot have I am error as a move because in this game, unlike the other CFB games, two latchkeys can never have the same move, regrettably.
That's fine. I took my second choice, which is strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Okay, very good. We love that one. So that is, and actually, it feels kind of appropriate considering all your convenience store shenanigans in the last couple sessions. So that was the housekeeping bit. Recapping, you are ready to resolve the dream, and Dog told me to. We solved those, or we answered the appropriate questions last time. For the dream, you have to just confront Morgenstern with the truth of this horrible thing that you have collected evidence of and convince him to let it go. And for Dog told me to, you have to perform this ritual, which sounds a lot more like murdering him horribly than a ritual, but nevertheless, you have to do it at the castle house in order to stop this. I like that you all, I like the idea of you're all just telling yourself it's a ritual that you have to do. And Pale Horse, we have one threshold question still. Did Kate escape the other side on her own, or is she being pulled back to our world by someone or something else? And that is a complexity for, you have one clue currently. If you answer it, it will unlock the next question. So a little bit of work to do on Pale Horse still. The latchkeys are loaded up with conditions and running out of keys to turn. So just be mindful of that as we continue. With all that said, if there are no questions, we'll begin our day phase like we always do by just finding out what everybody wants to do. Topher, of course, you're still in the Chromatic Desert, and but Nathan, Ashley, and Sean are all able to be back at Rodenbecker Street. Sean, when we last saw you, you had escaped from Florida Jackson and the new La Fresca Foods facility.
With her car.
With her car, I know. Yeah, I like the idea of you pulling up in the morning and like everyone kind of sees you there. Ashley, you had won a race and a drag race, and Nathan had barely escaped with his life. Kind of. He actually ended up talking down someone who was being influenced by Officer Barker from self-immolating. And so let's go ahead and find out what everyone's interested in doing. We will start with Nathan today. What do you think?
That's a good question, actually. I'm thinking that I would like to have some nostalgic moves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave that open to whoever also would like one. So I'm here for it. I think only though, like Ashley might be the only one who can do it, but I don't know what the conditions.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Ashley doesn't want to clear.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Guess there. So Ashley doesn't really have, and I Dream of Deep Lake is still there. It's not really affected things too much lately, but
we can't clear Need for Speed, can we?
You can. Yeah, I think so. Let me look.
Okay, that's good.
Let me confirm that. But it's part of a special rule for this particular mystery. Actually, I think it's a danger. The Need for Speed. Yeah, it's a mimetic virus. It's just a regular condition. It can be cleared in any way. Yeah.
Okay.
In the normal ways.
I mean, if there's a way for Topher and Nathan to have a nostalgic scene, then I'm game for that. Or even Sean, depending on what.
It could be fun to figure out how that works with with your takes you back things and Topher's condition. So or Topher or being in the Chromatic Desert, that is. Be thinking on it if you both want to work on that. Sean, what do you think about for the day phase?
Well, I got this nice fancy new car, and we have a driving oriented mystery. I think I'd like to dig into that but also I am owed a truth is out there clue.
Oh, that's right. The truth is out there. How interesting. Something you find or is left for you. You get to define it if you want, or I can define it for you.
I think I'd like you to define it, but I think it should be in Florida's car.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's really good. You find I need to remind myself of some characters real quick. Hold on. Okay. You have a note. There's a note that was left for Florida in the car. It's folded into a small square. The note says, "Meet me at the point, 10 p.m. sharp." Signed by someone with the initials KB. Since the clue can only be used for pale horse, I just gave you a pale horse clue. So
Cool.
And Ashley, what are you thinking about for the day phase?
Ashley's always up for murder. I mean rituals. So I don't mind resolving the mystery on
It can only be
Dog
resolved
Told
at
Me
night.
To.
So
Oh, sorry. I thought this game could also do it during the day.
I think
In
no,
that case,
I can't remember if I'm changing some of the rules for the final version of public access, and I think what I'm ending up going with is you still have to resolve the mysteries at night, but you can watch a tape sort of out of character, basically, so that
okay.
people can, so that you all can like be resolving mysteries while a tape is going, I think. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
But resolving at night is still a thing. So
Okay. In that case, I think Ashley too will investigate Pale Horse. She's already done the track, so I don't think that she's interested in doing that again.
do you want some leads?
It says here, I don't know if this is going too far, but it says here that when you get some water or coffee in her, oh no, that's the girl who's telling us. It's not about Kate. That's about Linnea. I think I'd love to go talk to Linnea, who says that she has been visited by the spirit.
Yeah, she's been
Of
dreaming about Kate
Sure.
Burnside.
Yeah, let's see what that's about.
That sounds good. Let's circle back around then. So Nathan and Topher, what did you all decide on?
I have an idea for what we could do.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right. So I think this is probably in the living room. Nathan's doing whatever, but TV comes on and we see the opening for the 1967 Speed Racer cartoon.
Ah, wild.
Go Speed Racer Go, except it's not Speed Racer, it's Topher. And they step out of the Mach 5 and they say, "Hey, Nathan, guess what? Guess what I fucking did?"
Now, it's been so long. We'll need to clarify. Did I forget Topher at one point, or do I remember Topher? I'm trying to remember where that was in the
Topher
chronology.
is I am error, so I don't think that is a thing that has ever happened.
Gotcha. Just making sure, because I know you forgot about me, I think. Okay, so that's yeah. Cool. Awesome. He just fully normalized at this point. Nathan just like kind of blinks at the screen and just says, does not answer your question at first. He just goes, "You've never been animated before. This is weird."
Yeah, I kind of miss having 3 dimensions, actually. But that's besides the point.
Okay. Hey, what's up? What did you do, Speed Racer?
I was a car.
Like in the cartoon, or
no, like a real one.
Oh, like Knight Rider.
Yeah. It was so fucking cool.
Wait, what was that like? Wait, were you actually the car?
Yeah, like you know how when you drive, sometimes it feels like the car's kind of an extension of your body. No,
No.
it was my body. I was the car. It was so cool.
So you like were you like inside the car? Wait, this is hold on.
No, like the engine was my
Uh-huh.
heart, kind of, and it was insane. And
Topher, have
I
I ever
still
told
kind of
you
can't
ever
like
told you
get the
that you
feeling
would
of gasoline out.
have I ever told you that you would do really good in the LA music scene?
Would I?
Yeah. Like you know, like lyrically at least. You got like anyway, that's not the point. Holy shit. Okay. So you were how did that happen?
So you remember the convenience store that you were at? I was gonna go in with you, but then there was this really really cool car, and no
Kind
one
of
was
glad you
in it.
didn't. Yeah.
And so I just kind of went in there and became it. And I fucking tore ass after this weird ball of light, and I was chasing it, and I did this fucking sick Dukes of Hazzard jump.
Wait, like you, the car did a sick.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I ramped that shit, and it was awesome. And I
did it hurt?
oh, I mean, yeah, my feet are sore and knees, but that
Okay.
because suspension.
Wait, please tell me that you like spoke through the radio. Did you
I
like talk
mean,
through the radio? Like who was driving?
me.
Oh wait, so it was. Oh, this is a. There was like. Oh, this was like there was no one driving the car situation.
Yeah, like Ghost Rider.
That's not how Ghost Rider works. That's not Ghost Rider at all.
Oh,
Ghost Rider drives a motorcycle.
oh.
Hmm.
So not like Ghost Rider then.
Okay, no, but that's
Like
still
a ghost that is riding.
sure. That's okay. Hell yeah. Did you see Ashley last night by any chance?
No.
Okay, because I know she's been kind of really interested in that whole drag racing part of the DeGoy County thing lately. And okay, if you didn't see her, then it's neither here nor there. Hey, that's awesome, man. Nathan has all of the like social energy of someone who's like really tired but like doesn't want to be a dick to their friend, so it's just being like yeah hey, just really happy for you, man. And it's just like yeah, that's hey, really glad. Just yeah, you gonna do that again sometime?
I don't know how I did it.
Gotcha. Cool.
If I can, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? That was insane.
So can you do me a favor real quick?
Huh?
This might be like completely nothing and stupid. But you know, as an animator, could you just like turn? I want to see if the animation like gyroscopes with you, or if it's like I
Tried that already earlier. It hurts a lot, and I would rather not.
I'm so no, I wouldn't have asked if I knew that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's because I don't actually have the third dimension. I can't like physically.
No, I'm so sorry. What do I look like right now? Am I animated too, or like, are you just looking at like a picture?
It's kind of like there's this big screen in the sky, and I'm looking out at it, and it's like you're on a CCTV camera, kind of.
Okay, weird, very cool.
Yeah,
no camera crews where you are though, right?
No, there's like styluses in the sky.
Terrifying, but okay.
Yeah.
You gonna be hanging out in Speed Racer for a while?
I think I'm actually kind of done racing for a bit.
Do you want me to change the channel?
Yeah.
He like grabs the TV guide and like begins to flip through thing, and he's like, all right, there's an episode of Home Improvement on.
That actually sounds really, really calming right now.
Just change the channel, just fucking Home Improvement on.
You just now see Topher's eyes above a fence line all the
time. Yeah, exactly. I'm just hanging out in Tim Allen's backyard, shooting the shit, drinking beers.
Fantastic. So it sounds like you were clearing the Need for Speed there, Topher. And Nathan, do you want to make a case for one of your conditions?
I could see any of these, but I'm going to go with tired because I like the idea that it's just like you just spend time with a friend who is like significantly more like high energy than you. Yeah, it's like, all right, I'm a little pepped up.
Fantastic. And Nathan, you get to stumble on it and define a clue as you wish, or you can both define it together. But
I would love to co-define one with Steph. Let's get some more clues for Pale Horse, just to help our friends out.
it's your only option. It has to be Pale
Yeah,
Horse.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, it's only Pale Horse.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, what if one of the racers just has the Mach 5 from Speed Racer?
wait, so what's the question? So well, it's a threshold question, right? So there's more questions. What if it's the I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, because I know what you're talking about, because the car, the Mach 5. Well, it's like actually like one of the race cars is like the like an antique, not an antique, that's the wrong word. It is a replica Mach 5. Like,
Yeah.
so like clearly like there's like a massive Speed Racer fan in the drag racing community there. So maybe that's the clue. Yeah. Cool. Let's do that.
Sean, what is your what's your plan for the day?
Assuming that the 10 o'clock, wait, 10 o'clock is very vague. That could be AM.
True, and it also could be it could be last night. It could have already passed.
It could be last night, yeah.
We don't. Who knows? So,
I think on the off chance that it means 10 a.m. 10 a.m. sharp, I'd like to try and figure out where the point is and go toward that.
Okay. Let me take a look at the locations and see if that is a thing that I should know about. Let's see here. Hairpin curve. Let me take just like a minute. I need to review this really quick. Let me just take like, I also have to go respond to a message real fast. Let's just take like a 10-minute break. We'll come back and we'll be ready to go. Sean, assuming that the KB is Kate Burnside on the note, then the point, which would be weird because she's dead, then the note means the hairpin curve. Now, this is just a guess. Maybe it's some other KB, but things don't seem to happen too coincidentally here in Nagoya County. The hairpin curve where Kate lost her life is indeed has a lookout point near it. It's a very sharp turn, though easily negotiable at slow speeds. You can actually see the tips of the power plant's cooling towers from there. There's a small pull-off before the guardrail, space for about 2 or 3 cars to park before a sudden drop-off. And past that, a picturesque view of Nagoya County's skyline, maybe one of the best in town, especially at night, but you're here during the day. I paint the scene question just for you, Sean. What do you see as you look out at Nagoya County that reminds you of why you left?
I think from here the angle is right that you can see the water tower with the big eyeball painted on it, and it just makes him feel that pressure of everyone, the small town, everyone knowing his business, everyone having an opinion and seeing him and for who he didn't think he was.
You hear from behind you you're staring out into the, over across the lookout, and you hear from behind you the passenger side door of Flo's car shut. You have the sunshade up in the glass, and the windows on the side are tinted. What do you do?
I think with kind of grumble. He's going to approach the passenger side door and try and open it.
It opens, and there's no one sitting in the seat. And yet, you do see the distinct impression on the leather seats of someone sitting in the seat. Make the day move. What do you afraid is going to happen if you lose your nerve right now?
I'm going to lose access to Flo's car. Be stuck here.
Roll with sensitivity and yeah, just sensitivity is fine.
10.
You're keeping it together. What do you do?
He'll kind of stare at the seat for a minute, just shake his head a little, close the door, and then circle around and get in behind the wheel.
When you get in behind the wheel, you can feel someone in there with you. You can feel their presence. You also see something hanging from the rearview mirror that wasn't there before. It's a pair of pink fuzzy dice.
Sean's going to look at those and go, I actually really appreciate that. Thanks.
What do you do then?
I think he'll just put his hands on the wheel and not look at the passenger seat and say, so am I supposed to drive somewhere or...
Make the meddling move with sensitivity.
6.
You hear very faint, very quiet. Who are you? What are you doing in Flo's car? The doors lock of their own accord. The engine turns on. The gas depresses. Gravel kicking up. You're going to go heading straight for the cliff. What do you do?
I think he'll put his foot on the brake and just say, whoa, Flo and I, we worked together, and then she tried to kill me, and I'm taking over her stuff.
This is going to be the day move with composure, I guess. What do you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
That's not going to be good enough to convince the spirit.
I think because because of Need for Speed, I'm going to put you at disadvantage as well. There's something fundamentally tempting about just letting it all go right now. Thelma and Louise style.
Oh boy, that's 7.
You keep it together. It stops. You hear, where is she?
I'm not sure. I stopped her from getting eaten by a thing, and then I left. I didn't want to stick around. Whatever it is, I can help. Probably. That's kind of what I do here. For some reason.
I'm going to give you condition haunted. You were hounded and haunted. Let's check in with Ashley Oakes. Ashley, Rodenbecker Ranch is different than when we last saw it. There was a lot of flack and fallout because of the events of the last weeks. Linnea's dad and Silas and Trinity all left. We know what happened to Cousin Dolores. Linnea is by herself at Rodenbecker Ranch for the time being. Let's paint the scene, everyone. Last time we described how Rodenbecker Ranch was like, basically like these people have a lot of money. Like, what do we see that shows they have a lot of money? What do we see now that shows that this place is haunted by the Rodenbecker family's past?
I think as soon as Ashley walks in, or even like if she's still in front of the door, I think we hear like the distorted and muffled music of one of Dolores's shows, even though she's been gone for a while now, like truly gone, right? Even though everything that's happened, I think like that specter of showbiz and like this tendency to replay endlessly the past is still lingering there.
There are snakeskin decorations, but there's always something kind of rotted or unpleasant feeling about it, almost as if the skin of the snakes taken or sacrificed by the Rodenbecker generations ago are kind of this like stain that just exists, and it's like a scaly kind of rot that spreads.
I was also thinking of the snakes in that surrounding the house. You can see those little squiggly lines in the sand that almost looks like thousands of snakes have been around here recently.
There are skeletons of roadrunners dotting the property as if the state of New Mexico itself has condemned them.
Ashley, no one lets you in. The door is just hanging open. Do you walk in?
Yeah, I think she kind of goes like, well, that's a good sign, and just walks in.
You see a woman who's slightly older than you. She looks very bookish. She's wearing a very modest blouse and skirt, very thin glasses. Her brown hair is pulled back in a loose ponytail, but it's kind of a mess. And she kind of looks, she's kind of really awkward, and she kind of almost bumps into you as she's walking towards the exit of the house. She's like, oh, I'm really sorry. Excuse
That's
me.
okay.
Are you a Rodenbecker?
No, I'm just someone who wishes she had like a bunch of documents so I could have spilled them and we could have picked them up and, did the whole thing.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
That's okay. I'm Ashley, and you are?
Shelly. I'm Shelly Burnside.
Oh, well, that's fun. And you are here to talk to Linnea, or?
Yeah, I am. Well, you, she. Oh, I know who you are now. Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those people staying over at the house on Rodenbecker Street.
I am one of those people,
She
yeah.
came to you about my sister. Oh, that's why I'm here too.
Yeah, that's great. Did you talk to her? Did she say anything?
Well, she's resting right now, but. And here I would like for you to go ahead and make the meddling move with presence.
Sure, absolutely. Let me see. Let me be silly. Um, will you allow me to use my jar of exfoliating mud for advantage if I say that before I went, like she used it and she's looking especially pretty?
Sure, yeah.
So
Especially
I'm
as
like,
compared to this kind of bookish, bookish kind
yeah,
of
exactly.
nerd person. Sure, you might be like, like she might be looking at you like,
Exactly. She's like too distracted to be
yeah,
like, wait,
yeah.
no. Let's go. With presents, that is a 12.
12. Wow. Okay. She says, "Oh, well, I she had contacted me. I think she contacted me before she contacted you about my sister. Um, I I'm just following up. It's all really. What was your name again?
Ashley?
Oh, hi, Ashley. And then she goes to like actually shake your hand.
Yeah, she
Yes.
shakes back.
She says,
Like very formal.
"Wow, your hands are really soft.
Thank you.
Really,
I
really,
have
really
this
soft."
cream. It's really fun. It's
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
you have a really clear complexion. I suppose that's one good thing about living in the desert, right?
So true. City folks can get this.
Right, right. Well, Ashley, let me ask you a question. Is there anyone in your life you'd do anything to get back if they died?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I have done nothing important in my life. I work a dead-end job at a bookstore no one comes to. But my sister, she was a champion, a racing champion at 16. Tell you what, find me a god, tell me where to sign. I would do anything. I'd pray to anyone to trade
Oh,
places with her in a heartbeat. Well, if she was alive still,
yeah.
of course.
You might want to be careful with that. You don't know which gods are listening. And hey, racing isn't everything. I mean, I think it's very sweet that you're so devoted, but don't talk yourself down.
Right, 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 yeah. Um, right. And she pulls out a newspaper clipping. She says, "I've kept this all these years. It's an article about the Deep Lake Speed Competition Club." And then she holds it up to you, and there's a headline: "A new queen is crowned." And you see a picture of Kate standing next to a woman who looks like she's like a mechanic or something based off the jumper she's wearing, in front of what appears to be the Crown Auto Repair Shop. You know it. But also, you see someone who looks vaguely familiar. These three young women, one of whom Sean would definitely recognize as a young Florida Jackson, arms around each other, looking really, really close, if I'm being honest. That's your clue, though. Just this article is your clue.
Yeah. I think her expression softens a little bit and she says, "You must have loved her very much. Did you go see the matches or just read about it?"
Oh, I mean, I was pretty little when all this was going on,
Mm.
but I don't know. I never got over her death, and I know it's insane to think that Linnea actually saw my sister, but weirder things have happened in Deep Lake.
Weirder things have certainly happened in Deep Lake. And
Right.
it's nice that you care so much. I think that That says a lot about you.
Oh, oh, thank you. Thank you. And because I owe you a bonus because you got I owe you a tape or a bit of history, my choice. And I think well, we'll come back to this scene. We're not quite done at Rodenbecker Ranch. Let's swing back over to Nathan and Topher. What are the two of you up to right now?
I actually feel like Nathan is kind of in this weird head place, and more so than usual. And first of all, he wants to go make a run to the convenience store. He hates to admit it, but those Balls energy drinks might as well stock up on some of them. So I'm gonna add Balls energy drinks to my corner of the house. How do we spell it? Is that BAW?
BAWLZ, actually.
Balls, an exclamation mark, I'd assume.
I'm not sure about that.
All right, so just Balls energy drinks. All right, I'll add that to my thing. But I feel like I marked it last time, so I would like to do it again. I would like to go. I think Nathan needs to go take a nap and go speak with the big man. It's been a long time since any of us have spoken with the big man.
It has been a long time. Interesting. Let me take a look at some notes here. Because we're in what, layer 4 now, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta go speak to the big man with the sun head.
Yeah, you can only reach him in dreams at this point. Let's read that part of the character keeper. The Wandering Monolith. Roll with sensitivity. Let's just see how our initial disposition is here.
Will do. I'd like to actually argue that could I gain advantage, even though it's a dream, by bringing along the Silver Moon menthol cigarettes, or maybe I took a drag of one before I go to bed, because there's clearly a connection between the big man and this man in the silver suit.
Oh, you're trying to get the big man's attention. Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah. Cool. Mark that. All right. Plus sensitivity, which I believe for me is just a +1. All right. That's a 7.
On a 7 to 9, you gain 1 clue. He will reveal it in a way that reflects his current disposition. That's it.
Yeah, cool.
The only result.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dreaming of the big man.
We haven't spoken with him since
it's been ages.
Yeah, for a long time. So yeah.
I think the way this goes. You wake up. You wake up in a room. You're sitting on one of those sort of like steel gray chairs, like an old, like you would find like at a research facility or a military installation. And there's a single shaft of light over you from a single light bulb. And you can hear people just outside the light talking to each other. And every now and then they get close enough for you to realize that they all have long lab coats on. And they're making notes on clipboards. You can hear the scratching of pencil on paper. All right then, Mr. Toomey. Everything you think or say from this moment forward can be heard at the reception point. But you want to be careful because you never know who might be listening. There are lots of nodes, after all.
I admit this was not entirely what I was expecting based on our last conversation.
You and I have never met, Mr. Toomey.
You are not him?
No. We are not the one. We are not the reason why we're all here. He is here, though. Always.
And
Watching,
then,
listening.
then to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
A brilliant scientific mind, let's say. Now, your words will reach him, certainly, but the nodes, they are many. You take a chance by being here right now.
Nodes?
Yes, well, that's the word we're using right now. Others can listen in.
I'm very confused. I feel like I'd like to ask a bunch of questions, but that's not gonna be answered. So I'm getting the feeling I should just move past that and get to other things.
Right. Very interesting, Mr. Toomey. You hear the scratching on the clipboards.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like feeling psychoanalyzed. Okay. Well, whoever you are, I really feel awkward. I feel like there's something I should be able to call you. I don't like just speaking to ambient voids. Can
There's
I just
actually there's a young man who's in a room very similar to this one right now, on the same floor in this building, but on the opposite side. You're on the west side, you see, and they're on the east side.
what building?
That's not important. And they're having a conversation right now, very much like this one. They're having all the same anxieties and feelings.
Okay.
Oh, see, they just said that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, anyway, sure. I was expecting to speak with the big man, sunhead, the big
The
tall
reason
guy.
we're all here.
Is he God?
That's a sort of, well, parochial way of looking at it, I think.
Okay.
Scratch,
Either
scratch,
way.
Scratch, scratch.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. So what does this have to do with TV Odyssey? Or do you know about TV Odyssey? I assume you know about TV Odyssey, right?
There's a murmur of conversation among these people. You see one in the very, very, faint bit of light. I mean, there's a little, you have a little nimbus of light that can occasionally tendrils out into the darkness, and you see a little wisp of cigarette smoke. Someone not in a white coat walking among these white-coated individuals. That person says, "It's all right. Let him go to the garden. He can't affect us in any negative way. He's really kind of unimportant in the grand scheme of things." Let's cut over to Topher. Topher, what are you up to?
That is an excellent question. I don't really know. I think that all of this talk of like all the ghosts and all of the racing that's going on, and then everything else. They were just 2D a few moments ago. That was rough. I think that they probably just want to go and like try their best to relax a little bit, however they can as a ghost, because I think they need like a day.
So what do you do?
Okay, is Galaxia Arcade still open?
I don't remember the state of Galaxia Arcade.
Because I know that FG bid it.
Say that again, Sean?
They would need a new proprietor.
Yeah. In any case, you can be there.
Yeah. I think that Topher's gonna maybe go to the perhaps now abandoned Galaxy Arcade and
They have a
play some
racing
of the.
game.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I love it. I like this as a meddling move with sensitivity, actually. Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Excellent. And what is my sensitivity? A 3. Wow. I'm so good at that. 8.
8. I owe you a clue. You're playing this game, except you're not like sitting in the little like kind of hardened vinyl, slightly reclined chair that those games are always, and you're kind of in the game itself in a sense. You're in this pixelated red, kind of like sports car driving fast down pixely palm tree lined roads. And there's a pixelated blonde in the passenger seat next to you. I'm going to give you the Need for Speed and your clue. The clue is the music that plays. It's pixelated, or kind of like 8-bit, kind of not pixelated, it's 8-bit kind of sounds, or 16-bit sounds, will be generous. But you can recognize pop songs from the 80s. And on the screen, the music selection is broadly identified as Kate's Mix. That's the clue. Kate's Mix. And I want to check in with Sean. Where did we leave you? At the hairpin curve, at the lookout, haunted.
Trying to convince Kate that I can help.
Yeah, and you do. And I think just to put a little like kind of exclamation point on the clue about with the newspaper clipping clue, you'll see a rock that has spray painted on it. It's faint, but it's still there. Spray painted on it. KB plus KK plus FJ forever. What do you do? You don't get the impression that the entity's with you anymore.
He's going to kind of unclench his hands around the wheel and over and say that that's it. Okay. And I think he's going to go to the power plant.
Before you can pull out, a highway patrol car pulls into one of the little slots on the lookout. It's just a single officer in the car. He looks like he's in his early 40s. He's got a big, thick caterpillar of a mustache, aviators, khaki cop uniform. He's chewing and spitting out sunflower seeds. And he kind of comes up to the window, says, and he kind of taps on the glass.
Roll it down and say, hi, officer.
He's like, good afternoon, citizen.
Something I can help you with?
I just was driving by and I couldn't help but notice this fine piece of steel and chrome and leather that you have here underneath you.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm actually borrowing it from a friend.
Borrowing it from a friend. Yeah. I don't suppose you're here because of all those racing clubs that have been springing up as of late.
Not really. Don't imagine they're happening at 10 a.m.
So you don't like to race this
Not
beautiful machine? You don't have the
Like I
need
said,
for
it's not mine.
speed?
I'm actually really good at Need for Speed.
You know, I used to do a little bit of street racing myself back in the day. Back when I was a younger man. Life tends to take it out of you sometimes. The things you love, the things you care about, the things you're passionate about, the reason why you get up and you put your jockeys on one leg at a time and face the day. But now I've got a mortgage. I've got a wife who I love very much. 2 kids who I am really, really happy about. And I got this job.
I think Sean's
You
going to.
got this car.
Do you want to race, officer? For old time's sake?
Yeah. Well, I mean, these highway patrol cruisers, they've got a little bit of fire in the belly, if you know what I mean. More than you'd think for an official
They'd have to.
vehicle. Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to get real fucking real with a perp on the streets.
Sure. I mean, if you know, this is all for fun. If I'm not going to get arrested at the end, we could see who gets to.
Back home, I have an 87 Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. I spend what little bit of personal time I have on the weekends working on it. I don't get as much time as I would like because of, you know, the family and their needs, which are constant, but understandable.
Right. Yeah. Those annoying
Not
needs.
quite in racing form as of yet, but I suppose we could, we could maybe go down, see who can reach the power plant fastest, see if the state of New Mexico has invested wisely.
I think Sean will start the car again and say, I'm game.
All right, son. He's only a little older than you, but he calls you son, naturally. Like, and he kind of, get your cars pulled out, to be roughly even. And he looks at you and he says, "Are you ready?"
Are you?
"Oh, I was born ready."
Tom will smirk and grip the wheel and turn to face the road.
This is going to be the day move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you lose? Or if this otherwise goes badly?
This is some just really shitty entrapment scheme, and I'm going to get arrested.
That would suck. I like it.
Does this count as cops and their bullshit? Because in which case, I'd get advantage for just say no.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm into it. Yeah, roll with advantage. It's gonna be composure.
9.
The complication, you're gonna win the race and his respect. But the complication is he was actually following up on a report that the car was stolen.
That tracks.
Think about what your scene looks like. Let me check in with Ashley one last time, then we'll take a quick break. Ashley, I think rather than give you I think the way this is going to go is she looks at you and she says, "Well, I better go. Linnea's in her room. She just laid down to rest, but she's still probably awake. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Ashley, but you remind me of someone I used to know."
Was it someone you liked or someone you really hated?
Oh, well, I didn't really know her. She was just this girl who committed a series of violent acts against her friends and family back in the 90s. Anyway, that's not important.
Well, thank you.
Right. I'm gonna go look for that mud.
Yes, you absolutely should. And I think she'll like scribble down where she got it with like a store. And then she'll just say, like, anyway, if you think you got like any clues or anything that we can help you with to, I don't know, avenge your sister, find your sister, make a deal with God, whichever it is that you want, you just come to Rhoda Becker House and let us know, right?
Right. Okay, right. Sure. Yeah. Okay. And she like stumbles over nothing and then leaves.
She's cute. She'll just kind of like mutter to herself, like, she's cute. And then just go to Linnea.
Let's take a 5-minute break. We'll come back and do another round of scenes and then we'll transition into phases. So, Topher, I think you got your clue in the form of Kate's mix. How do you do at the game?
I think they mostly bomb the first couple of attempts because it's just getting the hang of everything. But once they start figuring it out, they pretty quickly start maxing the high score out, I think, like getting up on the top.
Yeah. I think as you keep playing, you'll eventually see a 16-bit version of the hairpin curve of the power plant, indeed of Sean and the police cruiser. Sean, how's this race go?
I think sorry, I'm not trying to ruffle too many feathers here. So I think Sean's going to play it like it's a closer race than it could be. And at the end, though, he will pull ahead, and when they get to the power plant, and when he'll stop the car and step out and say, "So how'd it feel?"
He stops. He gets out. He saunters over to you. He says, "You got me. That was some really, really fine racing you did there, son. I forgot to mention, though, that this beautiful, beautiful steel monument to man's ingenuity was actually reported stolen recently, which is why it actually caught my eye."
Huh, that's weird.
Unfortunately for you, I have a very stay rough on crime attitude about things. And he has an Officer Barker mask that he puts on. Topher, in the video game, you drive by the power plant and see a digital version of Officer Barker standing by the black muscle car. What do you do?
I think that Topher grins kind of hungrily and floors it towards them.
Very good indeed. We'll have to be really expansive with our fiction here, but I'm curious, like, are you going to try to save Sean from Officer Barker right now?
Yes. Mostly I want to run over the cop and maybe eat him.
Right. So that'll be what happens in the video game, but you'll have to do something in the real world as well to affect the situation. And so this is going to be still the day move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
So the way that I'm imagining this working is that if in order to affect it in the real world, Topher's going to drive the game car into the cop car and then try to make it so that they merge, and then the cop car just floors forward and runs him over. And I think Topher's afraid that it's, for one, just not going to work at all.
Okay.
And Sean's going to get bitten by a big dog.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll with vitality. And I'm going to put you at disadvantage because of the need for speed and Avatar of She That Feeds.
So I have the Not Odyssey tape of the chili cook-off as an item. Can I mark that and kind of be like, I'm so excited to have that fucking chili. So I'm gonna turn that cop into some good chili.
You're actually instead of the Avatar of She That Feeds, like being simpatico with other great hungers, she's actually simpatico with you is the idea. I like that. That's pretty good. That'll be a flat roll then.
Excellent. My vitality is 0. And that's a 5.
It is not great. I think in the video game, we see you careen around the edge. You miss. The little digital Officer Barker just waves goodbye to you as you go flying over, I don't know, a vanishing point that didn't exist there before. You're just like flying. You're like flying over this little lookout in the video game. We'll come back and deal with that in a moment. Sean, you're not aware of any of that. You're just aware of this officer who wears a name badge that says Otero on it. And he's highway patrol. He doesn't work for Bill. He just pulls out his piece and he's getting ready to shoot you. What do you do?
Oh boy. I think Sean's going to try and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. You should know, I'm a deputy. I'm on your side.
Well, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I do like the idea of you appealing to Officer Barker's law enforcement the fact that he's in law enforcement. This is going to be the day move. What do you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. I think this is going to be composure and hounded. I'm putting you at disadvantage.
Does just say no apply? Cops bullshit.
Not in this case, because this is more of a this is a slightly elevated situation, I think.
Right. Disadvantage is 8.
Not bad. You'll be able to stop the situation, but only if you kill Officer Dave Otero.
Oh dear. Huh. I think I have to mark a mask here. Or turn a key.
Which key are you going to turn?
I will go for my final key of the child.
Do you want to narrate it now, or do you want to wait?
I can wait.
Okay.
I need to pull it up.
We'll come back to this. Ashley, do you go to find Linnea in her room?
Yeah, I think that's why I came here. So let's have a look.
She's there. She's actually not laying down. She's sitting on the edge of her bed. Blonde hair, like you remember, but she has a new stress streak of silver. Pink cardigan, chinos. You'll see as you walk in that she's holding an urn in her hands. But it's a little urn, little tiny urn. Like a funereal urn. And she looks up and she says, "Oh, hey,
Hi.
it's a day for visitors, I guess."
Yeah. I mean, I can leave if you want to, but
No, it's fine. Look, I'm really sorry I came over to the house the other day and was ranting and rambling about ghosts. This is my shit to deal with. You and your friends, you already helped me with all that stuff from earlier in the summer, and I shouldn't have put this on you.
why not? Why do you have to do it alone? That doesn't make sense.
I think in some sense I've always been alone.
Yeah.
My brother and my sister, my dad, cousin Dolores. They're all, well, they're all either crazy or deeply haunted. I was always the normal one.
Yeah.
But now I know that I'm not. I'm just like them. I've got my own demons, literally.
Right? I mean, it's not so bad, is it? Being part of a group. I used to think I was like you. I mean, not that I was the normal one. In fact, I thought I was the only fucked up one in like the whole world because everybody kept telling me that I was. So I tried really, really hard to make everybody like me, you know, like always smiling and always saying, "Oh, I love your dress and I love your hair. And that's just the sweetest, cutest little Tamagotchi you got." And it was so fucking tiring to always be happy and nice and never be mad at anyone. And I don't know, I kind of liked it, figuring out that everyone in this world is a little messed up.
I just don't get why this keeps happening to me. What did I do to deserve any of this? It's like the whole town is fucked. I'm fucked. We're all fucked. I'm just sick and fucking tired of this. I want to cry. I want to hit something. I want to break something. Even if it's just my own fingers. I want to drive 100 miles an hour right off a cliff. I want to grow wings. I want to fly away from here. She stands up. She gets really close. I want to kiss someone like they'll die tomorrow. Or like I'll die tomorrow. I want to squeeze a little tomato with my teeth. I want to feel. Ashley, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared for me. I'm scared for this fucking ghost Kate.
Then be scared. Fear isn't gonna stop anyone like you. Do all those things except, you know, the ones that could get you killed. But if you want to scream, then fucking scream. Who's gonna stop you? Not me. You want to punch? There's a bunch of pillows right here. And if I may interest you,
She draws back
I
and hits you.
Amazing. Ashley will love it. I don't even want to dodge it.
I want the day move, though, to keep your composure here.
Absolutely.
What are you afraid is going to happen if you don't?
Yeah, so I don't think that I'm afraid that she's gonna get mad or anything. I guess it's like a very ugly fall. And I like hit my head really, really badly, like hospital badly. Like it escalates to a point that we both were not expecting.
I like it. Excuse me. Vitality.
Okay. Can I? Because I think Ashley was gonna finish her sentence with, "But can I interest you in hugging a kitten?" She's gonna like hold up Panini, her little kitten who was with her, and then she gets like whacked in the face for advantage.
Like, how will the cat help you, though?
Distracted?
Oh, okay. So she
I don't
doesn't.
know.
She loses some strength in her swing.
Yeah, she doesn't punch me as well. I'm also fine just rolling flat
No,
if you
I'm
feel like it's
into
a
it. If you want
stretch.
to, if you want to mark Panini, I'm into it. I think it's fun.
Sure, I'll mark Panini. That's funny.
I like how you brought Panini with you.
Yeah, the whole time the kitten's just been on her shoulder. Okay, in that case, it is an vitality. Sorry. Oh, that's a 8.
I'm gonna give you a swollen jaw condition, but otherwise you're okay.
Yes.
She's immediately like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that." Oh,
You pack a hell of a punch. Incredible.
and she's like, "Where'd this cat come from?"
Oh, that's my cat. He comes with me. He's like, he likes being in my pocket.
She turns to look at that little tiny urn. She goes, That was my cat.
Oh. What's the name?
Butterscotch.
Such a cute name.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it is, but I lately find myself drawn to dead things.
Okay. That feels like your dreams might have something to do with that.
I didn't dream any of that. It's really happening.
Yeah. So where is it leading you?
That
Where
ghost
do we
girl,
need to
Kate.
go?
That ghost girl, Kate. I think she's on the run. I think she's on the run from death. You can make the meddling move with presence.
I think she kind of mutters to herself, God, she's so cool. And then I'll with presence, it's another 12.
Wow. We'll come back to this. Nathan Toomey. As soon as the smoking person says, just let him go, it's fine. You find yourself on. It's kind of like the lookout that Sean was at, except here it's all black and the sky is dark blue, like you're standing on a silhouette of the cliff. And you see the sun, or something that's supposed to be like the sun, hanging in this dark blue sky, except you can look directly at it. It's a roiling ball of fire. And you're looking down, and the only thing you can see that pierces this weird, glitchy blackness is what appears to be a little town. A little town illuminated by this blazing sun. And in the town, you can see a mailman. You can see a woman wearing a kind of Christian Dior style 1940s housewife dress come out and wave to someone in the middle distance. You can see a little boy playing with his dog. It's like this little town is just floating out in the middle of weird, inky black space. What do you do?
I think he's walking through the town.
Once you have the idea to walk through the town, you do find yourself walking through the town. And the entire time, this blazing red fireball sun overhead, it's like it's following you. You look up, it's always kind of there. This town is picturesque. It's beautiful. It's perfect.
Using sight beyond sight, what is about to happen and why?
You're about to be invited to stay in this town because this is the only place where you'll able to be truly free of your fear and your anxiety. You can tell that the town, the surroundings are just painted backdrop, but perhaps there's something comforting in that. The voice says, the voice all around you, They're going to begin casting for this program soon.
Is this the set or is this somewhere else?
Yes.
I guess that one's on me. Who are they?
They are people that I'm keeping my eye on. People is a generous description.
They seem to be running pretty well amok, so if you're keeping your eye on them, it feels like now might be the time to do something about it. Things are
No.
kind of going to hell and back if you haven't noticed. I mean, I know you've been busy with this, whatever it is, but I don't know. Things are getting really bad, worse than when you were around.
That other place is lost. But this place is real. There's a house just at the end of this street, on the northwest corner of the cul-de-sac. It's yours if you want it.
Where I'll be safe and nothing will ever have to scare me again, and I'll never have to worry about anything.
Yes, so long as you're willing to play your role.
And what role is that?
I'm thinking boy next door.
No, thank you, but no. I'm not that selfish. I can't put my head in the sand while there are still people I care about and people who I feel like I can maybe have a chance of helping. I still don't feel like I deserve peace on that when I can still maybe do something to help my friends. And that's why I am here. I am here because I'm you keep watch. This much you have said many times now. You've helped infrequently, but you have helped. You've nudged things. I know, I feel that we are very close to something bad, but very possibly something that will finally put this nightmare to an end. I need help. And I need your help.
There is no reply. But when you look down at your feet, you see what appears to be the corpse of a snake. In its mouth is a quarter. The quarter was minted in 1986. I'm afraid this is the only place I can help you. And you wake up from your dream.
May I assume that I look in my hand and the quarter is there?
No, but the clue
Oh,
is
okay.
the snake
Gotcha.
and the quarter. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That's fair.
That's your day phase.
Woof.
Topher, you are getting ready to careen off a digital cliff. What do you do?
Well, I don't want to do that. So I think, hmm, No, that's an idea. What if no, I don't think that would help actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try and my hardest to basically just flip it around in a U-turn with and
Get
maintain the
control,
momentum
yeah.
and just go.
What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Well, then I'm gonna go off the cliff, and that when you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. It's going to be with, I'm going to say with vitality and no disadvantage.
That's a 6.
We see the spray of pixelated gravel as the tires try to find purchase. The blonde in the passenger seat is wildly moving her hands up and down as if in terror. Oh no! Mr. W is there as well with big, shocked, pixelated eyes. Whoa! And the car bloop. And the Galaxia arcade is perfectly quiet again.
I'd like to turn the key of the roaring echo, please.
The key of the roaring echo. That is your pale horse key. Let's read what it says. What does it say? Each latchkey. Oh, sorry. Each latchkey.
Okay.
Each latchkey narrates a too real dream of a past life. Who were you? And what do we see in your dream that you failed to accomplish because of your finite lifespan? And in case it helps, that past life is on the same floor as you, just in another room at the far end. You're at the west end, you see, and that past life is on the east end. Be thinking about it. Sean Thompson. So what happens instead?
Well, I think that there's enough of a pause there that maybe Patrolman Otero can. I think he has some doubts. You can't be sure that Sean isn't a deputy, and if Sean is a deputy, then he's also rough on crime. And if he's rough on crime, he couldn't have stolen this car. And I think Sean is going to take the opportunity to get back in the car and race away.
Fantastic. That Rapture Day phase as well. Ashley, you have 12 plus on your meddling move, right?
I think it was a day move to get
That was a day move.
to withstand the punch. I think.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. Which you did. And as a bonus, when it's all said and done, I don't remember exactly how the scene ended last time, but when this is all
no,
done.
you. Sorry, you're right. It was the meddling move.
Oh, I thought it was meddling move. Okay.
Yeah, the day move. I had a 7, and you gave me a condition. Sorry.
Right.
So
yeah,
this was a meddling.
Oh,
move,
okay.
Yes.
So she owes you a clue. Let's see. I think every time you've noticed something, every time Linnea talks about death, you get the distinct smell of engine grease, chrome, freshly polished, gasoline fumes. That's your clue. And Linnea, she's like kind of gently stroking Panini. She says, so I'm sorry, what did you come here for again? Is this about what I've been seeing? What I'm really sorry I hit you. You're taking that awfully well.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good punch. I'm very impressed. I just came to see if, I don't know, if Kate Burnside is running from death. I feel like we need to help her, you know? Screw death. He's got enough of us.
Yeah. Yeah. She says, I sometimes wonder if things would have been different. Well, there was a lot of talk. This is back when you and I would have been little kids, maybe even it was before we were even born, I don't know. But there was a lot of talk of Deep Lake not just being a little dried up podunk town with pretensions of being a vacation spot. There was talk of making Deep Lake something really special, something big and different. I don't know what happened. I just know my dad talks about it all the time. People coming in, talking to people, scouting locations, having meetings. Rodenbeckers are always involved in things like that. It comes with being the oldest, richest family in town, I guess. But then it all just went away. I can't put my finger on what any of it was supposed to be. Neither could my dad. Only that something was supposed to happen, and it didn't. Greatness, maybe. Or a better kind of notoriety. Just passed us by. Anyway, there's a part of me that wonders if maybe all the rest of us that are still here, like maybe we're all just waiting for whatever was supposed to be to happen.
I think something is going to happen. And I just think this time it will.
Yeah.
Greatness? I don't know about that.
I need to lay down.
Sure. Do you want me to tuck you in?
No.
Okay, you're lost. I'm really good at it.
Well, okay. And I think we'll go visit Topher again, who is going to safely navigate away from the digital cliff. Just give us the rest of that scene, Topher, and that will be our day phase.
I think that we see Topher actually speed up into it a little bit at first before letting off the gas and quickly jerking the steering wheel to the side. causing it to drift and spin in a complete U-turn, and then hitting the gas again, and it fishtails for a little while before tearing back off.
Hmm. The digitized blonde cheers. And Mr. W has big heart eyes. And that will wrap our day phase. Is there any other loose threads apart from the key that everybody has to narrate? I think, Sean, you owe 2 at some point. Let's go to the desk. You have one more Odyssey tape. Are you watching it tonight?
Yep.
Very well. Where are you going to watch it?
I
We haven't
mean,
found a TV for Pale Horse, have we?
You have
For
not.
any of the
Well,
active ones, have we?
we're resolving. Dog told me to. I'd assume at least some of us are. Is there a TV in the castle home?
I don't remember where the VCR is in that one. Let me look. That one is. Oh, you never found that one.
Bummer.
Yeah.
You take Geraldine Ambrose's bus.
Yeah, Geraldine. Yeah, that's the. I don't know what was she up to. I don't know. We haven't seen her in a while. I don't know what she's up to. She's gone back to Hollywood. Now I think your options are probably Rodenbecker Street. You could go to Escondido Street, I suppose. Get a free clue out of it there. Where else might? What are the other locations? It'd be weird to go watch it in some of these other places, though. Escondido Street and Rodenbecker Street are at least nearby.
I'd say Rodenbecker then.
Yeah, I kind of like having the last one where it all begin. That's like a nice little bookend.
Yeah. That sounds good to me. And what is everybody going to be doing in the night phase? You can watch the tape and also be kind of doing other things. The tape will be kind of a meta thing if it needs to be. I just want to get a read on what everyone's plan is, Nathan.
Well, we got Dog told me to resolve.
You haven't found but you haven't. The problem is you haven't found Benji though.
Yeah. Well, I thought we did. Oh, true. We didn't find him, but I thought we would just lure him there somehow.
Yeah, well, you haven't done that either. So yeah.
I thought that would be part of the night phase, is what I was thinking. It would be but okay.
I mean, if you come up with a plan for luring him there, I'm into it. But
that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
All right.
Come back to me.
Ashley, what do you think?
I was also going to do that because I think that Ashley is up for stabbing because nobody else should be stabbing.
Yeah.
I was thinking that just sort of when we start this ritual, the power of the entity was kind of going to lure Benjamin, was sort of a vague
that's
idea.
One thought is that it would just be drawn, but I think also just getting power on in the house. I mean, to turn on lights or turn on the porch light, and just some signals of Benji come home in some way, of maybe put the light on in Charlie's infant
you make
bedroom
it seem
and all that.
Oh yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is his kind of disturbed mind. He comes. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Okay, so Nathan and Ashley are working on that. What about you, Sean?
I think Sean should try and wrap up the dream, maybe deal with Flo.
Yeah, and confronting W. Atlas Morgenstern, or maybe confronting him through Flo, because Flo works for him, we now know. So,
yep.
Yeah. Topher, what are you going to be doing?
I think Topher's going to be running support on getting the dream off the market.
Very good. Okay, so you're in the radio again of the car. I like that. That's interesting. Okay, this is all really interesting. I like it. I have some ideas for how these scenes might go. Does anybody want to resolve any key prompts right now?
I can do mine.
Go ahead.
So this is the Key of the Roaring Echo. We see a husband and father of two, Christoph Fantoa, rushing through a burning building. his heavy jacket and mask weighing him down nearly as much as the woman he's carrying. He crashes through flaming debris, making his way slowly but surely to the exit, lungs screaming for a break. But he thinks of his family. His daughter's going to turn 3, and his son's first day of kindergarten's coming up. The woman on his back stirs, coughing from the smoke inhalation. Not much farther now, he thinks to himself, now seeing where the smoke is battling steam from the water of the fire engine. He crouches down, repositioning the woman so he's carrying her in his arms bridal style, resuming the trek out of the inferno. Just as he's within arm's reach of the threshold, he hears the floor beneath him crack, threatening to give way under the strain, and he quickly flings the woman through the doorway as the floor gives up, plummeting into the basement that the blaze began in.
Anybody else?
I can do my my key of the child.
Okay.
I can probably do the other one too. But flashback to the moment when you realized childhood wasn't forever. It is September 1992, a couple of days after Sean came downstairs and remembered he had a brother who worked at TV Odyssey. He is outside his childhood house. It's just about nighttime, and he seems to be screwing up his courage before he approaches the door and he knocks. There's a brief wait before his father comes to the door, and he stares at Sean with cold eyes. And Sean kind of shifts his weight from foot to foot, and he just starts talking about how he's had to get another job at the gas station, and his brother is gone and no one can remember him, and there are bills, and he doesn't know what to do with taxes, and he's overwhelmed, and he thinks he's going to have to drop out of school, and he doesn't know what to do. And he looks up at his dad and he says, "Please, Dad, I need help." And his dad looks at him and says, "I don't have any kids," and closes the door. Later that night, Sean would have a dream. It's what he would consider olden days. People are speaking with British accents, but they sound weird and not like what he's heard on TV. And he's walking through the halls of what might be a circus. He's not sure. He's wearing a goofy outfit, like a caveman toga thing. And he's speaking with the proprietor about his new job as the strongman. And he thinks this could be it. This could be the start of something. And as he's walking home through the streets of London, he hears the sound of something panting behind him. And before he can turn, something lunges, knocks him to the ground, and there's a tearing, painful feeling at the back of his neck. And he has the brief impression of claws and teeth and fur. And then he wakes up.
I can do mine. Nathan once had a dream that felt like a very long time, but obviously on waking, it seemed brief. He dreamt that he was a Bavarian artist in the 1500s during the time of the Holy Roman Empire, spending years and years of his life working towards the goal of making his masterwork a piece of art that he would forever be known for. He took many small jobs in abbeys and Benedictine communities, did a few murals for some politicians, and was very skilled in his art, but never felt satisfied, always working towards that masterwork. When civil strife came to the province he was currently working in, he saw his end when the soldiers set fire to the church he was working in. And in an effort to save the pieces that were being developed by the monks of the abbey, a burning beam collapsed on him, and so ended his dream.
Anyone else?
Sure, I can do mine. Ashley dreams of a garden drenched in blood when the earth was still young. She dreams of the birds and how they chirp and sing around her, all of them circling this little alcove, this little clearing of flowers, and in the middle of it, an altar drenched in blood. On it, a body that others are dragging away for her in reverence. The priestess should not be doing such work after all. Dragged to the altar is a boy, a young man that they are pushing down. Some of them are like holding down his hands and he's fighting back. Ashley approached, her fiery red hair glinting in the sunlight. As she looks down on a boy, or a young man, I should say, that looks a lot like Nathan. He looks back at her, and she holds a very ornately carved athame, a sacrificial knife, that she holds up high in the sky as it glints. And as she brings it down, the young man manages to avoid it and actually gets one hand free. And she feels the sharp pain of a knife between her ribs as he plunges it in her, pulls it back. It splatters on the white of the altar, on the beautiful colors of the flowers. He runs as she collapses, and the last thing that she remembers, the last thing that she thinks in that dream is, he's the one. He's the one that finishes it all.
Nice. Good. Let's continue on. Our Odyssey tape is on line 148 of the Character Keeper Animal Kingdom Pure White. This tape is an episode of Poetry Slam, a show that features professional wrestlers reading poetry as if they were cutting a promo. The poems are frequently interrupted by outbursts of over-the-top violence. A promo, for those of you who don't know your professional wrestling terms, is when the wrestlers like basically get in front of the camera and like talk shit about the other wrestler, and they're always, they kind of like it's the story part right before they go wrestle. But in this case, they read poetry as if they were cutting a promo. And so that is going to be the tape. Prompt 1 is Ben. Prompt 2 is Jazzy. Prompt 3 is Alex. Prompt 4 is Steph. Let's take a 10-minute break so you can think about your wrestling experience, and we'll come back and do the night phase. So we're back from break, and actually, as it turns out, we're running a little long on time, and we have some hard stops. And so, if you're watching this and is looking forward to the night phase, I'm really sorry because we're not doing it. We're gonna do Stars and Wishes instead. I think you got plenty for your money today, in signals from the other side. Let's do Stars and Wishes. Whoever wants to go first, take it away.
Yeah, I can go. Out of all the weirdos that you've played, Jason, this cop was getting to me so badly. Everything he said was such soul deep cringe in the best way. It was just, at one point I was legitimately like, is this an alien? Like, does he not know how humans function? And it was fantastic. I love that whole interaction, especially like contrasting with like Sean's, like skating normalcy that he can have in scenes like this. It's so fun to watch. So that also for Ben, I really love that. And for Ben Star as well for the flashback. The I don't have any kids. I typed it in a chat too, but I love how you set it up where I'm not sure if that's like homophobic piece of shit dad or if it's like affected by everything that's going on dad, and like either answer hurts the same because I have to imagine that Sean doesn't know either, which is heartbreaking and just so cruel for you to set it up that way in the best way. So I really love that. I also just really loved Sean. The interaction with the ghost in the car was also really great. I love that. Um, Topher, I really loved just fucking flooring it in the arcade. And I really loved your idea of having Topher just sort of be like, yeah, it's been a lot. I'm just gonna chill. And I thought that was a very like interesting take on the information or the meddling move and everything. That was very fun. And for Nathan, for Alex, I should say, I liked Nathan's reasoning for not staying, that it was selfish. I felt that was like such a Nathan way to see it. Because he can be like so painfully logical sometimes that it like made so much sense. And also just like his initial reaction to the absolute nightmare of like being like psychoanalyzed by these strange creatures, like how horrifying for Nathan specifically. And I really love like how that sort of played off. And for wishes, yeah, I can't wait to see how all of these mysteries get resolved. I like how far we got with Pale Horse, so I'm really excited to see where that kind of goes. I feel like there's a lot of people with like different ins on that one, which is always very fun to see. Um, I really love the scene with Linnea, so I really hope we get more weird as Linnea because that was fantastic. And I can't wait to see what happens when you watch the 10th Odyssey tape. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'd be happy to throw out my stars. To Steph, the speed racer thing was fantastic. Just coming out and be like, Nathan, guess what I did was really fun. I also liked just the kind of band. It's been a while since we've had like a Topher Nathan little moment, and that was really fun just to have them having this weird but still fully on in character kind of interaction of just being like, hey, what happens if you rotate? Oh, it actually really hurts. Oh, okay. That was really funny. I really enjoyed that banter. Yeah, Ben, I particularly have enjoyed how you dealt with that cop of just it'd be like, I mean, do you want to race? Was fantastic. I mean, like clearly you're looking at someone who is so unsatisfied with his day-to-day life, and Sean just being able to look that in the face and be like, what would Jean-Claude Van Damme do? It was great. Jazzy, that the how dare you with that little key prompt about somebody who looks like that. How dare you? Fantastic. Um, yeah, Jason, feel like I got a star. Whatever the fuck is going on with that interaction I just had in the dream before going to the big man. You've clearly got some ideas for like something with this man in the silver suit and the smoking and whatever is going on there. That segues into a wish that I'm very excited. I want to explore more of that. I want to kind of by the end of this have a little bit, not necessarily like obviously explain because I don't want all the answers to everything, but I just kind of want to like dive into more of whatever is going on there before this campaign concludes. I feel like we need more latchkey like as a group. We need more of like a familial moment before we go headfirst into the abyss together. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the culmination of this entire story.
I'll go. As has been previously mentioned, the very first star I wrote down was it hurts to turn to the side in animation, and I just love that little detail. And also I just loved the enthusiasm that you brought to Topher being in Speed Racer. Uh, Also the interaction between Nathan and Topher, especially Alex Nathan's animation history and bringing that into it was really good. It was really good to see Linnea again and the interaction with Ashley and just Ashley, this just, do you want me to tuck you in? I'm really good at it. I don't know why, that just got me. That was very cute and sweet, and also a little ominous. Like, Ashley has, I know what Ashley's done. Um, the whole session was great. The cop was the worst, just so, everything was awful. And I really enjoyed the twist at the end with Officer Barker's mask. That was great. I'm looking forward to next session very much. This Odyssey tape is wild. Uh, Ebenezer Scourge is going to live in my head probably for the rest of my life.
But he's a
So,
scourge. Yes.
yeah. That's cool. It'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I fully agree with everything that's been said so far, but like I just love how off the rails everything is getting and how progressively all of us are just like, yes, this is actually completely normal for us. And so it's fine that we're doing this. I love that trope in horror where like people who are affected by it long enough start to normalize it. So I'm really glad that we're getting just really good at that one, honestly. For in specific, Jason, I really like whatever the fuck that building thing is with the other past lives, and they're on the same floor but to the east. And I don't get that, but I think it's neat. Uh, I'm excited to like. How are we even gonna? How do I know what's east in a room that I don't know exists? I'm gonna figure that out though. I really loved. Just I can't stop thinking about when Sean after the cop was like, and I love my wife, is just sure. Like, yeah, that was so disgustingly painful. Like, wow, I think if I was that cop, I would have vaporized. It was so good. I really also loved watching Nathan go through that weird dreamscape. Uh, I always think that it's such a cool idea when dreams are able to like manifest in this really potent way in stories. And I think that you really leaned right into it, Alex, with that. And I'm really impressed by how you're able to just dream logic and keep it solidified at the same time. Both of you, in fact, it's really cool. Jazzy, I really love all of the like, oh, she's cute. And ooh, I want to tuck you in. Like, it's so good. It's so good. It's so gay, and I love it. I also really, really like the triad of Kate and Kate. I think was it both? Were they both Kate?
Yeah, it's oh gosh, I gotta find the names
Like
now.
Kate and Flo.
I think it's Kate and Flo, yeah. Or no, Karen. No, it's another K name, but you haven't met this character yet. It's not Kate. It's another K name.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's good. I'm so excited for that.
Stars. I really love the nostalgic move scene between Topher and Nathan. It was really, really good. For one thing, we don't get a lot of scenes with just Nathan and Topher, so that was fun as well. I had a lot of fun playing Officer Otero, and Ben, I thought you did a great job playing off of that. Sean has this like sort of like defensive deadpan that I think helps him negotiate with all these weirdos, which I think works out really great a lot of the times. And Otero was fun to role play. I was really just like I had to kind of just like let that character kind of take over because I didn't really have anything planned for him, but I think it all kind of worked out. So I was happy with that. Loved the whole that very sapphic session today, which I thought was great. You don't get that too often, so that was really fun. But I love the scene with the Burnside sister and Linnea, and Ashley, who the three of them in a really interesting way, the three of them really feel like kindred spirits. I can't really put my finger on why exactly, but they just do. And it was like they were all three meant to be there and it felt right, you know. Really enjoyed that. I love the weirdness that Nathan got up to and Nathan's reaction to it, and all that stuff was really fun. And I had fun role playing that scene and describing things. And that goes into my wish, which is, I mean, we have this, everything, whatever's going on, it's so ambiguous, like who really knows. But I think we're starting to kind of figure it out and kind of push towards something. I wonder, a part of me wonders if Trinity Rodenbecker has had the right of it the whole time. I kind of wonder if the station, if public access, if TV Odyssey is like, if maybe the guy in the Whisper mystery, that weirdo who tried to trap Ashley in the basement, if he's been onto something. Like, there are characters in the setting who I feel like have maybe started to figure things out a little bit, but they don't really have the context to like say what's really going on. And I think your characters are getting closer to the truth of whatever it is. I have some ideas. I think we'll kind of figure out together what all of it means so that we come up with something satisfying. But I agree with Alex, and I don't think we have to have all the answers, right? I think it's okay if we leave a lot of it incredibly ambiguous and unanswered so that people can ponder it and tell us what they think. But clearly the man in the silver suit, the man in the sun mask, or the big man, and characters like that all are connected in some way, and there's something kind of going on. The Great Hungers have a role to play there. There's a lot going on, and I think there's an explanation, and my wish is that we come up with something really, really good at the end that kind of makes it feel really satisfying at the end, you know. And satisfying doesn't necessarily mean all the answers, in my opinion. Satisfying can absolutely mean just maybe some answers and more questions. I think that's okay. So, but anyway, I'm excited to get into that and to really, really push into that, and just see where it all goes, you know. So I think that's all I've got. Any other stars and wishes? Okay. In that case, let's wave goodbye to anybody watching the video. Goodbye, people watching the video.